Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another session of Data Masters brought to you by Data Engineering Pilipinas. I'm Josh, and I'm going to be your host for tonight's session. So, for those who are new here, Data Masters is a community driven initiative by Data Engineering Pilipinas that brings together a dedicated group of individuals. Here, we share our passion for honing project presentation, interview skills, and knowledge sharing in a fully supportive and collaborative environment. We cover various topics in data engineering, data analytics, AI, and related fields. So before we start, I just want to plug in our upcoming sessions for the month of August. So next week na to, it's gonna be about Proof Lab, World Lexical Language Network. So here we will have engineer Bob Matthew, Sir Maki, ayan, nalimutan ko yung last name. But he's gonna be talking about network models specific to language. I think he's gonna be using Philippine context here. So parang ang goal niya is to present how different languages in the Philippines are associated or related. And next week, August 21, that's gonna be me. I'll be presenting about the end-to-end crash course on Databricks. Okay. And for August 29, we will be talking about RAG on the go, where you will be building your own chatbot using your own documents. And this is going to be presented by, sorry, tingnan ko lang yung name ha. Ayan, so Shem Jafet Escobar. So, yan yung mga sessions natin for this month. So I hope that you guys will also be participating in those sessions because those are definitely something to look forward to. Okay, so let me now introduce our first speaker tonight. So tonight we will have two speakers. And for our first speaker, he's currently a graduate, or he's currently a software engineer at Thales Technologies in Philippines Incorporated. He graduated magna cum laude in 2024 with a degree in computer science, specializing in software engineering from FEU Institute of Technology. During his career, he received several prestigious honors, including the Outstanding Organization Officer Award in 2021, recognition as one of the top 11 Jose Rizal Model Students of the Philippines in 2022, and Leadership Award for the year 2023 graduating batch, and for the same year, selection as one of the most outstanding IT education students for the same year in 2023. The leadership skills and experiences he developed during the time have significantly shaped his professional approach, contributing to his free time recognition at Thales for his valuable contributions to the company's research and development initiatives in telecommunications and IoT communications. So without further ado, let's all welcome Nielsen Bernardo.
Hello everyone! Good evening sa inyo. Isang malamig na gabi para sa inyong lahat. So, unang-una, bibigyan ko kayo ng short introduction kung ano ba yung Gabay Pause. So, may isasend akong link sa chat. Diyan yung mahanap yung documentation tungkol sa Gabay Pause, sino ba yung target na audience, sino ba yung ka-collaborate namin, mga ganun. So, mag-share ako ng screen. Yeah. Okay. So, unang-una sa lahat, gusto ko magpasalamat sa inyo kasi nagbigay kayo ng time para makinig sa akin na magsalita. Lalo na ngayong Sabado. Kasi alam naman natin na pag Sabado, gusto natin magpahinga, spend time with family, or gumawa ng pwedeng assignment or personal project. So, thankful ako kasi nandito kayo lahat para makinig sa akin, para i-discuss yung Gabay Pause. So, yung Gabay Pause kasi, may 5 teams. So, ako ang leader ng Team 1, which is Knowledge. Kaya, ang focus ng discussion ko ay about yung knowledge, so yung research, ano bang ginawa namin, how it started with an idea, then how we plan to execute it. So, kamusta kayo dyan? hopefully, ngayong maulan na wala namang napano sa inyo. Kasi tuloy-tuloy yung ulan eh. Yeah. So before I tell you what we built and why we built it, ito yung mga dadaanan natin. So, pag-uusapan natin na why this project matters. Bakit nga ba siya importante? Anong meron dito sa project na to? Bakit namin sinimulan tong project na to? And ano ba yung kailangan namin gawin para sa project na to? And base sa research namin, ano ba yung napili naming method para i-implement yung na-research namin or yung napag-aralan namin? Pero bago ang lahat, may gusto muna ako ikwento sa inyo. So, bakit nga ba para sa akin, importante itong project na to? So, nung high school, hindi ako makapili ng college program. Pero like any normal person or someone na undecided, nilista ko yung gusto kong courses. So, I ended up with 25 courses. So, meron dyan computer engineering, electrical engineering, kaya naman philosophy. Gusto ko mag-major sa BS or BA philosophy or any pre-law. O gusto ko rin public health. So, ang dami. Hindi ko alam kung anong version ba ng buhay ko yung gusto kong tahakin. Gusto ko pa maging doktor, gusto ko pa maging engineer. Gulong-gulo ako nun. So, di ko sure talaga. And, bago ako mapunta sa computer science field, napunta muna ako sa secondary education, major in mathematics. Pero first day pa lang, sabi ko, mukhang hindi to para sa akin. So, sinabi ko na i-reverse or gusto ko pong bawiin yung enrollment ko kasi gusto kong mag-enroll sa ibang school kasi doon ino-offer yung gusto kong program. So, doon ako napunta sa computer science. And eventually, wala akong regrets choosing computer science kasi ito yung pinakamalapit na path na makakabuo ako ng kahit anong gusto ko. Kung makaisip ako ng app na pampadali, dito, pwede ako sa computer science. So at that time, upon realization, okay lang naman pala. Pero, yung realization na yun, hindi siya one time na mabilis after first year ko, dito na ako. It took a while, a lot of second guessing, mga fourth year or graduate na ako, dun ko palang na-realize na tama rin pala ako. So, yan ako. Kung familiar kayo sa school na yan, Pao Catholic School, yan ako nung high school. Yan yung hindi alam kung saan siya papunta. And I'm sure, kung nakikita niya ako ngayon, I think he would be proud na makita kung nasan ako ngayon. So, along the way, napapaisip ako na what if mapabilis natin yung pagkalinaw kung ano yung pipiliin ng estudyante? So, not by just choosing sa listahan, kundi makapakita sa kanila na, this is for you talaga. Based sa preference mo, maybe hindi mo lang nakikita. Ito talaga yung program para sa'yo. So now, it's my turn to build a tool that doesn't limit the Filipino youth, but helps them maximize their potential. Talagang para sa kanila to, mabibigay nila yung buong lakas nila doon. And together with the Gabay Pause team, we started this. So, yun lang yung story ko. And, yeah. So, why we started this? So, turns out, yung story ko kasi hindi siya unique. Marami rin akong nakilala na nahirapan din mamili ng program na gusto nila. Whether sa financial ba yan, sa kakayahan nila na, mas gusto ko kasi yung math kasi yung pag-pick up ko ganyan. So, nahirapan sila. Or pwede rin sa dreams nila, sa future na nakikita nila. So, yung lahat ng factors na yun kasi naka-overwhelm. Lalo na para sa mga bata, 16 or maybe 15 or depende pa. So, it's not an easy choice, not an easy procedure or process. So, that's what we've been seeing pa rin sa mga students ngayon na papunta na ng college. So, as a team, we asked, what if we built something to hold that structure for them? Yung hindi chaotic, hindi overwhelming. So, that's the idea behind Gabay Pause. So, this is an accessible website that assists students para makapag-provide ng recommendations ng college program na para sa kanila. So, yan na. May idea na. So, having the idea was the easy part. So, turning it into something real meant answering a lot of questions. So, ang question namin is, ano ba talaga exactly yung binibuild natin? At para kanino? Ano ba yung mga research na nandyan? Ano ba yung mga kailangan nating i-consider para sa recommendations na yun? At saka, paano natin gagamitin yung mga factors na yun to recommend? So, anong gagawin natin? So, all of those questions all boils down to the 3 words here. So, we investigated, we researched, we planned it. And syempre, before we could design anything, syempre, alamin muna namin, ano bang meron? We don't want to start from scratch, syempre. Kung meron naman palang existing, maybe we can build on top of that. So, we went digging like a detective. So, marami kaming binasa na research papers, local man or international. And, syempre, hindi kasi pwedeng basta na lang kami gagawa. Kailangan alam namin yung requirements para hindi malito yung buong project team. May extra pa palang feature na ganito dapat. So, we need to define the scope yung ano ba yung kailangan natin. And then, nilog namin yung yung mga studies na nakita namin para matrack namin na, so, etong research paper talks about the use of surveys para maka-recommend ng course. Pwede rin use of academic grades. So, we need to log that. We need to document everything that we found para may babalikan and may proof na, ito talaga yung reference. This is where we got the idea. Yeah. And next naman, so meron na kaming mga na-research. Gaano naman siya ka-relevant para sa project natin. And after that, combine na namin. So, we synthesized all of those ideas into one. So, hindi lang siya just a pile of citations. It slowly became an idea that is for us. So, hindi natin ito makikita sa final product, pero ito yung naging foundation. Kaya, sure kami sa mga actions namin in the development. So, hindi kami nanguhula lang during the development. Kasi planning has a bigger impact kaysa sa wala kang plano tapos go straight into the development. So, anong nakita namin? What did we discover? So, nakita namin, una, paano ba mag-gather ng data? So, sa mga nakita naming studies, meron doon by questionnaire, binibigay sa students, o yan naman, tinitignan yung academic record, ano ba yung performance niya per subject, and tinitignan din yung specialty ng school. And the second one, we found out that these are some of the variables that could provide an answer kung paano ba magiging relevant yung recommendation. So, what did actually matter? So, we found out that good recommendations depend on this mix of variables such as yung demographics, yung academics, family and socio-economic influence, yung personality, yung interest niya, yung fit niya sa school or sa mismong papasukan niya na university, and yung outcomes ng job market. So, makikita nyo dito, it's not just the grades, it's not just personality, it's a mix of all of them. So, we need to take that into consideration. So, this leads us to the third item. So, paano yun? Paano natin i-quantify lahat ng variables? And, i-process yun para makapaglabas ng recommendation. So, nakakita kami ng mga algorithms dyan. So, could be via decision tree. Okay, based on this rule, we go here. So, or maybe fuzzy-based, KNN, or rule-based system, or rule-based decision making. So, by this point, meron na nandun na yung raw materials natin. What to ask, what matters, and how do we process it. The next step is deciding what we will actually use to build, or what do we do to build with them. So anong pinili namin? Ang pinili namin is yung questionnaire-based recommendation system or recommender system. Kasi from a student's answer, we can compute the relevance and weight of each factor and use that to recommend college programs. And honestly, during that decision making, it felt simple for us for the reason na, after all, sino bang mas may kilala sa student? Sila rin talaga. Although it's not the perfect reason, but this felt the strongest para sa project na to. Na we let the students provide what we need, lalo na sa processing. So, that's the destination we have. But, wala pa tayo doon. So, ano ba yung next steps naman? So, nasabi ko nga na ako ay from Team 1, Knowledge. So, data gathering, data assessing, relevance, so synthesizing. So, we needed to collect the college programs available in Poso Rubio. Kung hindi nyo pa nababasa yung link na sinend ko, yung main target talaga namin is yung mga citizens of Poso Rubio. Kasi ang collaborator namin dito is yung SK chairman or LGU ng Poso Rubio. Kaya siya gabay, POS. Kasi nga, nagabayan natin ang Poso Rubio. So, yun. After that, we needed to list all the relevant questions. So, dahil nga survey type, questionnaire type, we needed to know what are the questions we will be providing or displaying to the students. Third, we needed sample data. Siyempre, need namin i-test yung model, yung accuracy ng model, yung integration niya when it comes to the front end. So, ano yung lalabas sa interface, sa UI, kapag na-process na. And then, we needed to determine the weight of each data point. So, hindi syempre yung pwedeng yung influence ng pamilya ay mas mabigat sa interest. So, we needed to weigh those data points. Hindi lang pwedeng equal sila. So, that was the roadmap for Team 1. And that's what happened, what transpired for Team 1. So, it was a very productive a week. Kasi 1 week lang yung for Team 1. Although na-extend ng onte, it's productive kasi ngayon seeing the website, how it come into fruition, sobrang well worth it lahat ng binasa namin. Kaya, thank you sa pakikinig sa akin. Sincerely, mula sa isang high schooler na hindi makapili ng program niya, to a team na trying to make sure na onti na lang yung estudyante na magiging confused or hindi sigurado. Thank you sa pakikinig. And I hope na with this project, tuloy-tuloy pa tayo makatulong sa kabataan, sa mga mamamayan natin, sa ating mga kapwa Pilipino. Kasi bilang tayo ay may kakayahan na makapagbuo ng mga ganitong kagagandang applications, isa rin sa magandang pwede natin gawin ay tumulong para sa kanila to help the underprivileged people or those who are struggling in this time of day. We have the privilege to help them. So, ayan naman po. Maraming salamat sa inyo, sa pakikinig nyo. And pakinggan din natin yung susunod ko na speaker kasi yun naman yung continuation ng ginawa namin as Team 1. So, salamat.
All right. Thank you so much, Nielsen, for sharing your or laying down the foundations for the Gabay Pods project. So it's actually nice that you had this full-blown study muna before implementing something, no? So it's really backed up by an actual problem. Tapos we made some analysis and data gathering on what specific data that we can gather, no? So there. Okay, before we start with the second speaker, maybe we can have like 5 minutes to do some Q&A. If you guys have questions, feel free to share them on the comments para at least fresh pa yung tanong, matanong agad natin. No? So sige, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask na. And andito pala Sir Bong. Hello Sir Bong. How are you doing? Yan, sige. Any questions?
Any questions naman kung paano ba ako napunta dito? Bakit ba ako yung naging team 1 leader? Paano
Sige,
ako
maybe we
na-recruit
can
for
ask
this
that. Ayan.
project?
Mini-interview na rin to,
So-
no? Yeah, sige, go.
So yan, bago lang ako sa Data Engineering Pilipinas noon. So, nag-start ako as scholarship applicant for Data Camp. Tapos sumali ako dito sa Discord. Tapos, nag-reach out si Joms, si Pipip dito sa username niya dito sa Discord. Nananong niya ako na gusto ko bang tumulong sa project, sa The Puso Project. Kasi may initiative sila. So, sabi ko naman, tungkol saan ba yan? Ano bang meron? Ano kailangan natin gawin? Unang kita ko pa lang, tutulungan yung mga estudyante mag-recommend ng course. Para sa akin na talaga to. Kinuha ko na kasi relate na relate ako eh. And I want to do everything that I can para makatulong. Lalo na doon ako nanggaling eh. So, thank you na rin kay Joms for introducing me here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yun. So, good influence yun, no? So, yan. And for everyone's awareness na rin siguro, what we, ano ba si the Puso Project. So, it's a project in collaboration with Sir Bong's Code Sydney, no? So, ang goal na to is to build very simple and very beginner-friendly projects that are intended to be used for the country. So for example, meron tayong mga barangay tracker doon, meron din tayong mga specific trackers that are actually used by certain domains. So ayan, so if you guys are interested to like build projects and wala pa kayong experience at all, don't be afraid because Sir Bong is here naman to help you out on the technical part. And at the same time, natututo rin kayo at nakakapag-build kayo ng mga magagandang project. Ayan. Sige, other questions pa? Yeah.
O sige, bakit gusto nyo rin tanong anong ginamit namin? So, yan i-discuss
Sige,
din
go.
ng leader ng web developer. Pero, honestly, nung pumasok ako dito sa Gabay Pos, hindi lang kasi ikaw limited sa kung team 1 ka napunta nung simula, pwede ka rin tumulong for web development, data collection. So, tumulong din ako sa pag-collect ng data. Tumingin kami sa Facebook page ng mga college, kunwari UP Baguio, ano in-offer. Ano yung mga programs na meron, ano yung requirements, ano yung relevance yung system. So, yun, di-discuss din yun. For the development naman, so nasama rin ako doon kasi software engineer, mahilig talaga ako mag-build ng projects din. So, tumulong din ako doon. Pero, eto, honestly, hindi ako sanay noon sa pagbuo ng React project kasi more on PHP ako nun, Laravel yung framework. So, nag-React kami nun. So, with the guidance of Joms, Sir Bong, nakatulong talaga na yung inputs nila for the development. Hindi rin siya yung parang sa school na, bakit hindi mo alam yan? Di ba dapat alam na yan? Graduate ka. So, maganda yung leadership kasi hindi ka rin na-force na mag-contribute 200% more na kung anong kaya mo. Kung hindi mo kaya, may magga-guide sa'yo. Kung tama, kung hindi mo maintindihan bakit hindi gumagana yung environment mo, madaling i-approach yung mga tao dito. So, yun.
And mababait po kami sa Data Engineering Pilipinas. Ah, ayan. Pero totoo po, hindi po yun, hindi yun
Tama, tama.
sarcastic, no? Ayan. At sige, ako may tanong pala ako, Nielsen. Siguro during the part 1 of the project, ano yung mga challenges na na-encounter mo?
So, sa Team 1 kasi, syempre, hindi lahat ng research paper available. Yung pag pinasok mo, free trial lang to. So, kailangan namin maghanap ng ibang resources. Kailangan namin na talagang maghukay. Saan ba? Ano bang relevant dito? So, yung iba rin, medyo luma. Nasa 2001, 2007.
Mm.
Kaya, hindi rin siya reliable enough for 2026 na scenario. So,
Yeah.
yun yung pinaka-main blocking point namin. Yung availability ng resources. Lalo na locally. Kasi
Yeah,
either may bayad.
Mm. I see, I see. Makes sense nga naman, no? Kasi parang since localized yung study nyo, it's more difficult to find studies or RRLs na super related dun sa domain na pinapasok din ninyo. Makes sense. And siguro with that, paano nyo siya naitawid? Ayan.
So, ayun. Hindi naman lahat nung sabihin na nating portal o web portal talagang hinaharang ka for payment para ma-access yung knowledge. So, meron talaga tayong mga tao rin na gustong ipamahagi yung knowledge na nakuha nila. So, ano yun? Talagang naghanap kami. Kasi 1 week naman, and it's a team effort. Hindi lang ako mag-isa sa team 1. Apat kami. So, together rin with Joms. Talagang, meron akong alam na makapagkukuhaan. So, medyo ito from an LGU or ito from a school. Pwede kong kunin or i-request. So, it's more of a team effort sa amin para makuha talaga yung kailangan namin. And ayun pala, may tanong din si Emmanuel. Kung yung performance nung... Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Kung yung
Yeah.
performance ng model, hindi ko masasagot yan kasi hindi ko cover yung discussion na yan. So, meron tayong leader for model development and yung back-end. So, siya yung talaga mag-elaborate niyan. So, yung spotlight na yan, ibibigay ko sa kanya. So, i-reserve mo muna yung tanong mo.
Right.
And hopefully, makapunta ka dun sa session niya.
Ipatikim tayo mga sa sa next episode. So, and ayun, I think it's gonna be a 3 session or 3 episode na session naman. So, stand by for the next episodes. All right, cool. Sige. Thank you so much, Nielsen, for sharing the inspiration and yung baseline ng ating project. No? So, sige, we can now proceed to our next speaker. So he's he's a risk consulting associate at SciZip. Sorry if I SGV and company, no. He graduated from Polytechnic University of the Philippines in 2025 with a Bachelor of Science in Applied Mathematics. During his academic career, he was consistent President's Listers awardee and a scholar of Home Credit Philippines Financing Incorporated. After graduating from college, he began his professional career at SGV and Company, where he gained experience in audit support and developing expected credit loss or ECL models for clients across various industries, including banking and telecommunications sector. So without further ado, let's welcome Cesar Ian Novero.
Hi everyone. Wait. And hi everyone. A raining evening to everyone of us. So, my name is Ian, and I'm one of the collaborators for Team 2, which is assigned for data collection for the Gabay Post project. So, as we already know now, the Team 1 has already established that this project is a recommendation model for grade 1 and grade 12, grade 11 and grade 12 students to make more informed decisions about choosing the right college program for them that would shape their futures. So our role in Team 2 is to provide the data foundation that will support that recommendation system. About the data that we collected, I think it's important to first answer a simple question. So why does data collection matter? So here po no, in Gabay Post, we're trying to make a recommendation for students, and any recommendation is only as good if the information behind, if the uh, data that we collected is also great, no? So if our data is incomplete or inaccurate, then even a good recommendation model is can produce a poor result. So for Team 2, no, data collection isn't just simply about gathering a large amount of information, but it's also about collecting the right information from relevant sources and documenting it properly so that it can be used by the succeeding teams. So a simple way to understand the Gabay Post is to compare it to something we're already familiar with. So I think every one of us already know what a Google Map is, right? So it is a navigation application. So if we use a navigation app as an analogy, so I think every one of us has already wondered on this question on how does it recommended the fastest route. So of course, just like any other, it needs a data about the locations, the roads, the distances, and the traffics, and other conditions that may have a factor in the decision making of this app. So it then uses those different information to determine the most appropriate route. And Gabay Post also works in a similar way, but instead of roads and traffics, no, we're dealing with this project with students, college programs, universities, scholarships, and geographic accessibility across. So before Gabay Post can recommend a suitable path for student, first we need to collect the information that describes both the students and the available opportunities. So this brings us to the next question. What data do we actually need? So here, no, we started by identifying the questions that Gabay Post needs to answer. So these are just some of our bases for gathering the data, like asking the questions like what is their academic strengths, what is their financial capabilities, or are they willing to travel just to go to that university to study, and what are the possible programs that they may want to pursue. So these questions become the basis for us for determining the data sets that we need to collect. So here, no, our role in Team 2 is to gather all the relevant data needed to support the recommendation model. So we divided our data into two major groups. So here we have the external data, which includes the list of universities, college programs, scholarships, barangay coordinates, and the supporting socioeconomic data sets. Second is we have the internal data, which comes directly from the students through the survey questionnaire and the feedback form. So essentially, we're collecting both sides of the recommendation problem. So sino yung mga student and what are the opportunities that are available to that student. So for our sources, we have used several organizations and references relevant to the different types of data. So this includes the CHED Memorandum Orders, the PSA, the DOLE, and for some geographic information, the team have utilized the Geographic Information System. And also we have also data sets that were directly collected and prepared by our team through web scraping. No? And an important part of this is that we make sure that our data is traceable so that when we hand it over to the next team, they know where the information came from. So our first major data set is the list of university. So here we have gathered and created a comprehensive list of universities and higher education institution that could potentially be included in Gagabay Post recommendation. So these data sets includes the university location, institution type, and the distance from Poso Rubio. So this data is important because Gabay Post isn't only supposed to tell a student what program might suit them, but it should also help to answer the question that where can these students take this program? So we have also added here the two additional considerations to the university dataset, like the economic constraint and the mobility constraint. So for economic constraint, no, universities offered by local universities or state universities receives a lower value in our current approach, since most of the SUCs and LUCs offers a free education, hence mas mababa yung uh, economic constraint niya compared to those universities that are private. So, for our mobility constraint naman, the farther the university is from the Poso Rubio, the higher the value. So, the purpose of these variables is to present the practical consideration that may affect the student's decision. So, we're not only looking here at the academic compatibility, but we're also considering whether an option is financially or geographically practical for those students. Next is after identifying the list of universities. So the next question is, what are the programs available across this university? So this is where our distinct college program datasets come in. So here we have created a standard list of college degree program offered by the university in our data set. And this gives us a common program list that can be used for later matching and recommendation. So creating these data sets involves several steps. So first is we identified the unique programs. Then we look for the program descriptions and the possible career paths after graduation. And after that, now we have categorized the program by field and prepared them for matching and scoring. So this standardization is important because the same or similar program can appear, or some university may offer the same program, and we need a consistent representation before the data can be used effectively by the recommendation model. And once we had the standardized list of the college program, we need another layer of information. So we need to understand how closely is each program related to a particular field. So this is where the purpose of our college programs scoring data set. And we score the program according to their affinity with different academic fields such as STEM, business, arts and humanities, educations, and agriculture. So to accomplish this, no, we then first source out the college program curricula from CHED memorandum or any university websites to identify the subjects that are included in each program. And after gathering those curriculum, no, the team developed a standardized prompt to guide the assignment of affinity scores based on the subject relevant to the program. So for automation, no, the team have utilized the Gemini notebook, which generated the score systematically. And once the scoring process was completed, and each team member consolidated the results into a single Excel file. So this ensures a consistency and accessibility for the subsequent teams. And this data sets now serves as the foundation for our modeling and further analysis. So the scoring framework now was mostly based on the CHED memorandum order, where we get the curriculum for each college program. So next data that we have collected is the scholarship data. So the scholarship data provides the Gabay Post with a structured database of scholarship opportunities that can be matched to the student based on their qualifications of needs. And we collect the information such as the scholarship name, the scholarship provider, its benefits, the application link and the contact information, and the coverage or eligible location. So the complete scholarship record should also capture the important application information such as the requirements and the deadlines. So this is important because Gabay po should not only recommend the scholarship, but it should also give the student enough information to actually pursue that opportunity. The next data that we have collected is the barangay coordinates and the university distance. So this provides we collected the barangay name and the geographic coordinates, specifically the latitude and longitude, and this will be later on used by the other team to determine the distance of these barangays to the university. So this supports our location-based recommendation. So for example, we have two university which both offer programs suitable for students. So the distance could become another factor in determining which option may be more practical. So again, we're moving to from simply asking what should I study to also asking where can I realistically study it. Then after collecting those data sets, data, we have also used some supporting socioeconomic and labor data. So this includes the family income expenditure survey, the labor force survey, and the survey on the overseas Filipinos. Now, these data sets provide a broader context regarding the socioeconomic conditions, educations, employments, and occupations that the students may uh, incur in the future. No? So we consider this as supporting data sets rather than direct student inputs since their purpose is only to help the Gabay post understand the broader environment surrounding the students and the career opportunities that may be available to them. So now, aside from our external data sets, now we have also feeded information directly from our students. And this is where our student questionnaire and model feedbacks come in. So the questionnaire captures several aspects of the student, including their interests, their academic and aptitude factors, their career goals, their learning styles, and other constraints that may be a factor in the decision making of the model. So this response becomes input that help create the student's profile for the recommendation model. And after the recommendation model, we then collected the feedback since we want to know whether the student considers the recommended program relevant or satisfactory and what their actual or prepared program is. And there's a very important distinction. So here, our survey questionnaire is our input to the model, while the feedback is our way of evaluating the model's output. So in simple terms, no, the questionnaire tells the model who the student is, and the feedback tells us whether the model understood the student correctly. And finally, after collecting these data sets, we prepare them for a handover to the team 3, which are in charge for data engineering and exploratory data analysis. And our work isn't just complete because we have the data, but we also need to make sure that the data is properly documented and understandable. Hence, here we have our acceptance criteria, which is requires a comprehensive documentation or data summary for data sets. And second is the data dictionary for each data set so that the team 3 may know what each field means and how the data should be interpreted. And the third is the raw data in Excel and CSV format, which is stored in a Google Drive where all of the team members may have access so that they can perform further analysis and together with all the agreed deliverables, no, such as our program mapping and scholarship information. This will ensure that the Team 3 receives a usable and traceable data foundation. So that's it for the output of our Team 2, which is in charge for data collection. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you so much, Caesar, for sharing the output of Team 2 on the Goodbye Pause project. And I must say na super comprehensive ng inyong project, no? And the way how you collected the data, it's not just a simple data collection, but you also made some scoring model, which actually are super helpful dun sa um, kung paano niyo i-build yung model. So yeah, that's really just a comment from me na super documented and super detailed yung pagkakagawa niyo ng data collection process. So, and yes, of course, data collection is the one of the most vital steps then dito sa project since this is going to be the basis of the recommendation model. Yan, so good job. Sige, I'll open up the floor for questions. If you have questions dun sa naging presentation natin and if may additional questions din kayo kanina for Nielsen, um, feel free to ask questions now para at least masagot nila while they're still on the stage. Ayan. Ayan, galing. Ayan, may nagtanong dito si Pipip.
So yung sa data collection po, I think it took us, the timeline for us is 2 weeks, but since medyo mahirap yung minsan may mga data na kailangan namin tapos hindi siya available, so na-extend yung
Mhm.
timeline namin into I think inabot kami ng 17 days po ata yun or 3 weeks ganun.
Sige, tanong ko na rin yung tinanong ko kanina 'no. Siguro you've already mentioned yung, challenges sa data sources kung saan kukuhanin or saan iga-gather or paano makokolekta. Ano pa yung ibang mga challenges that you have encountered?
Ah, I think po also in time, since most of us here
Mhm.
are working professionals na, so
Hmm,
medyo nahihirapan po kami minsan mag-allot ng time since weekend, minsan family time
mhm.
ganyan. So,
Yeah,
ayun kailangan talaga ng commitment para matapos yung project
nice. At least naitawid naman 'no, nice.
po, sir.
And super comprehensive pa, nice. Actu may isa pa akong question, about dun sa ginawa niyong scoring using, Notebook LLM 'no. So siguro paano niyo ginawa yung validation sa output ni LLM?
Sa validation po, sir, team 3 po yung,
Okay, okey.
nag-validate po nung, data since they are in charge of the data engineering na po 'no. So,
Okey, copy, copy. Alright, nice. Sige, other questions pa, for Caesar? Ayan, may mga katanungan kayo. So right now we're just laying down the foundations, and again, this is going to be a 3-part session by I think it's gonna be August 22 yung next session natin 'no. Yun, more topics will be talked about on that session naman. But if you have questions about data collection or if you guys are in a similar project, baka pwede kayo manghingi ng tips sa kanila kung paano naitawid yung mga ganitong challenges, 'no? Especially yung mga challenges on halimbawa sa PSA na kukuha ng datasets, medyo mahirap maghanap dun minsan. Or minsan may mga, .gov.ph tayo na datasets, naka-PDF, ayan. So you have to manually scrape it or at least we have Notebook LLM naman to just, scrape it for us. So, yeah. Or may mga gano'n pa kayo na-encounter Caesar na yung source lang ay PDF or kailangan mo talagang buksan yung PDF, basahin or manually i-encode. May mga gano'n ba kayong naging challenges?
sa siya, sir, mostly sa pag-read ng curriculum na. Since
Hmm,
siya, sa pag-assign ng score for each college program, dun na po kami nag-utilize ng Notebook
hmm.
LLM since for web scraping na po, ayun po.
Ang dami na rin niya at text heavy na rin siya. Yeah, makes sense. Alright. Other questions? May mga hahabol pang question? Okay, going once, going twice. Ayan, sige, hold. Okay. Sige, thank you so much, Caesar, for sharing the output of Team 2. And again, once again, thank you, Nielsen, as well, for sharing the output of Team 1. So you guys have laid down the foundations of the Gabay Pods project. So yan, so let's give them a virtual round of applause. Napaka-fruitful and napaka-meaningful ng project kasi our goal is to help out the students to kind of give them the best or maybe recommend the best programs that they might take that's going to be fit dun sa kanilang mga characteristics, no? Okay, so let me just quickly do ano lang, a promo lang, no, dun sa ating mga upcoming sessions for the for August. So again, next week, August 14, 7 p.m. That's on Friday. We will be having Sir Miss Engineer Bob Matthew Sunga. He will be talking about Proof Lab, the World Lexical Language Network. Once again, I think it's going to be about association of different languages here in the Philippines. I think yun yung topic niya. So yun, papakita niya kung paano associated or magkakakonekta yung iba't ibang languages na meron tayo. And then on August 21, 21, Friday then, 2 p.m. So that's gonna be me. I'll be presenting Databricks end-to-end crash course from pipelines to models. And on 22, I think yun yung schedule natin for the next episode of the Gabay Pause project. So I'm not sure if it's gonna be data engineering yung next topic. But yeah, yun yung next topic natin. Yun yung next session natin for Gabay Pause project. And lastly, we will be having Shem Japheth Escobar, who will talk about RAG on the go, building your chatbot with your own documents. So it's one of the most common use cases of LLMs. So we can use our LLMs for building our own chatbots to read through our own documents for quick Q&A. So yan, thank you so much everyone. So let's wrap up. Ano ba yung script ko? Sorry. May script nga pala ako. Joke wala pala. So thank you so much everyone. And I hope that you guys are safe and thank you for attending today's session and see you in the next episode. Ingat everyone. I hope you guys are all safe.